people are like, they're toxic and they shouldn't be together. What do you have to say to that? Somebody need to hug this girl and let her know everything is going to be all right.
All right, y'all, that's a clip from the docuseries, Krishan Rock and Blueface, Crazy in Love. Now, it just started streaming on Zeus, and it features the rap couple. But some fans are telling people to boycott it, saying that it glorifies these toxic relationships. We know that both Krishan and Blueface have both accused each other of physical abuse in their social media takes. Let's watch.
You punched me in my mouth. What are you talking about? Punch me in my eye. Use a So what? If I want to get away from you, let me get away from you.
What's funny?
Not laughing.
Yes, she is.
Not laughing. Recording.
She done hit me in my. You got a nice little shiner.
And then back in September, TMZ obtained this video. This is of Blueface getting into a fist fight with Krishan's father. Now, the couple's new reality show comes as Blueface is also facing attempted murder charges in Las Vegas. The rapper was arrested last month for a shooting that happened back in October. He will be back in court in January. But back to the docuseries on Zeus with his girlfriend, Krishan Rock. Some fans are asking that the couple, that they be boycotted because they really represent the new era of Bobby and Whitney. Wow, Mo, there's a lot here. Why is their toxic relationship even being put on display as entertainment? We know people like to watch train wrecks, but aren't we past this?
No, because ultimately it's the new generation of people who want to watch these train wrecks. We love dysfunction. The whole idea of reality TV and social media is being able to point at someone else's dysfunction and say, at least my life is not that bad. I may not have money like Blueface. I may not have looks like Krishan Rock, but at least I'm not getting beat and having my photo being shown on social media with 2 black eyes, or I'm missing a tooth or something like that. We have this mentality where we do want to see the car wreck. We don't necessarily want to see someone die, but we actually enjoy the violence and we're entertained by it. Now, we're a little bit older, you and I, and we understand that this violence can only have one logical conclusion.
That part.
But as a society, we not inclusive of me and you, but we want to see this happen.
The culture. Yeah, I mean, I had a brief stint on reality TV myself, and I did have the audacity, Mo, to try to put something different on the screen and, to mix reviews. We'll just leave it right there. Mo, let's now turn to Robert Kelly. We know that the singer's attorney wants the judge to toss out his federal trial porn conviction and give him a new trial. Last month, his legal team filed motions in Chicago saying that there was insufficient evidence for there. His lawyers also claimed that an expert witness for the prosecution lied to jurors about how much he was actually paid to work on the case. Oh, my goodness, it never ends. R. Kelly potentially facing decades in prison in just Chicago for these particular sex abuse charges. Mo, we know he's already got 30 years in prison in New York for those federal racketeering, those RICO charges. The singer's attorneys are saying that the prosecutors failed to prove that he made the infamous sex tape with the intent of producing child porn, so they're arguing intent there. They also say there's insufficient evidence to prove that the tape ever crossed state lines. That's the federal component. His legal team is grasping at straws here to me, but what do you think? Do you think a judge or a jury will buy any of this, Mo Kelly?
No, I don't think they will. But if you're the advocate for Robert Kelly, you do anything and everything. You throw that Hail Mary. You try to argue anything. You argue insufficient evidence, jury nullification. You do whatever you need to do to get your client off. And even though it is a Hail Mary, we all live in the age of Bill Cosby. Sometimes Hail Marys land. And if I'm R. Kelly and I'm looking at spending the rest of my natural life in prison, then yes, try anything and everything. If you can get something through which will at least minimize my sentence, then okay. If you get one of the cases thrown out, or if you get a portion of the evidence, because you understand this as a legal scholar, you're just trying to create some legal reasonable doubt. And sometimes you can do that before the trial. You can do that sometimes during the trial, or even after the trial, in the sense of an appeal. So yes, I understand why they're doing it. No, I don't think it will be successful or effective.
Okay, so that's the legal of it, Mo. Let's talk about the cultural component. We're both old enough to remember when that tape first came out, the very first one. I think we would probably tend to agree, but correct me if I'm wrong here, that the culture a little bit turned a blind eye to it, or maybe a lot of it turned a blind eye to it. And then for many years after that, R. Kelly had a very successful career. And then it seems almost all of a sudden there was a paradigm shift that said we're not going to allow this anymore as a cultural mandate. Do you think that's consistent? Or do you think if R. Kelly, let's just wave a wand, he gets out of prison, does R. Kelly get to still have a career in this climate culturally?
I don't think so. If he were to get out of prison, it would have to be something very significant in nature, going back to your last question. So I don't believe that would happen. But if that were to happen, he would have to live almost as a hermit, because our culture and society have both changed so very much where he would be unwelcome. He would be a social pariah, regardless of what any court decision may say. We can look at Bill Cosby as proof of that. We can look at maybe Kevin Spacey as proof of that. People who may be out of prison or who weren't convicted, but who are still social pariahs and ostracized in that nature. Now, R. Kelly, I wrote about R. Kelly back in 2008, going back to the original child pornography charges, and the general society didn't want to hear it because he was at the top of his game. But what we have noticed is over the years that when these superstars become less successful, they become more susceptible to the ills of society actually crashing down on them. R. Kelly, this would not have happened even during the Me Too movement at his height, I don't believe. But since he is not the hit maker that he used to be, then people are willing to cast him aside.
I think that's spot on. I think that the kind of scale of justice there is correlated to the popularity. Maybe people are finally ready to stop stepping in the name of love. Well, Kelly, thank you for your insight, bro. Always great to see you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, now after the break, the Grio sat down with Oscar-winning actor Will Smith and director Antoine Fuqua to talk about their latest film, Emancipation. Stay with us.
All rise.
We the People delivers compelling cases.
And you are using her up and not giving her the same type of care in return.
And firm justice. We the People, all new with Judge Lauren Lake.